Shedeur Sanders' name is starting to get that buzz. Shedeur is getting the buzz right now. And this is from, and I take this with a grain of salt. Like, nobody has told me specifically Shedeur Sanders is the guy that, and anybody who tells you that is crazy. But Nathan Shedeur, who's on Cleveland Browns Daily, has been talking about Shedeur Sanders. And obviously Nathan is the one of the on the play team with the Browns. And I noticed, he was arguing kind of hard. There was a conversation he was having. And somebody was like, Shedeur ain't the guy. Shedeur ain't the guy. I don't like none of these quarterbacks. He actually was talking to Chris Rose. Chris Rose was like, man, that he does not have Deion's legs. I don't think he's mobile. Chris has said that on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. But guess what? Your boy Nathan Shedeur was like, no. Listen, I didn't see about 5-6 of his game. He could do this. He could throw the run. He could do all this stuff. I think he's the most quarterback ready. He's the most ready guy available in the draft in terms of quarterbacks. He was going in. He was really putting the Captain Kirk cape on. I said, dang, bro, he really talking. He talking real. He got the cape on for Shedeur Sanders right now. And I'm looking at it. Now, Shedeur Sanders, to me, as I look around, I'm starting to see, people meeting with Shedeur. He come off more mature. And slowly but surely, Coach Prime done stepped away a little bit. Coach Prime done stepped away. What start to happen, like I told you, is when you got a chance to be the number 2 overall pick or the number 1 overall pick, all of that stuff about me going to another spot because I don't like, that be out the window. That's out the window. And let me throw this out to you guys before we even get to our next video. Let's get to this question because I'm interested in seeing. This is going to be the biggest offseason for the Cleveland Browns. Don't let you tell them it's 2026 and 2027 because if Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski don't get it right this year, they'll be gone. So they'll be out of here. They won't see tomorrow. Right now, the Cleveland Browns, we can't be sitting here talking about how bad the quarterbacks are, how terrible Jameis Winston is, how horrible DTR is. Deshaun Watson was this, that, and the third. Well, listen, you got the number 2 pick, people. You got multiple picks. I don't care if you got to pick 4 quarterbacks in this draft. Get it done. So I'm going to throw this out to you. I want to see what y'all feel about Shedeur Sanders. Number 4. Super chat is available. Hit me up. We'll talk about it. Super chat question number 4 is Shedeur Sanders worth the 2nd overall pick? Why or why not? We're just telling you. We just ask you. I ain't saying if he's good or not. I'm just asking you. Is Shedeur Sanders worth the 2nd overall pick or not? Just marinate on that as we get to our video. And this is courtesy of Sports for CLE. This is me. And Dave talking about Shedeur Sanders. You heard from Coach Prime. Coach Prime says he's the best quarterback that's ready to go right now. And here's why.
Of Colorado, also the dad of Shedeur Sanders, was on ESPN's First Take today talking about which quarterback in this draft he thinks is the most ready to be successful in the NFL.
If Shedeur had started every game in high school,
right,
every game in college except one, and he's prepared for this next level and this journey that he's about to go on, I think he's the most equipped. He's had, Cam, the 7 different offensive coordinators.
Yes, sir.
And, a line that was always criticized and scrutinized, but he still stood and delivered. I think he's the best one for the job for any city, and he's the most equipped. Oftentimes, we draft these quarterbacks that been on these elite teams. Now they get in a situation where it's not as conducive to their success.
For sure.
And they choke. He's always been up under criticism. He's always been scrutinized. He's never had the best of, but he's made the best of. So I think he's the most qualified.
That last name is what draws the criticism.
That last name is just like Sharp and Smith, Molly, and Cam. Our names just make people have a you got to have an opinion. When they say something about us, there's always an opinion.
G-Bush, Deion also said, whomever takes him, he'll leave it in God's hands, is how he put it. So it doesn't sound like he's stepping in, whether it goes 1, 2, or 3. That was before that. So it's interesting.
Yeah, look, I've always said this, and I look at it in terms of how human nature is. It's very difficult. My dad always told me, hey man, go with the girl that like you, not who you like. Man, and, I married the woman who likes me. Like, your relationship gonna be pretty good if she like you, bro. That's a nice start off at a nice base level. So if somebody reaches out to Shedeur and say, listen, we like you enough that we want to take you number 2 overall, no matter what city it's in, you then put yourself in a position where it's like, hey man, that's hard to turn down, man. Somebody's coming to you. You spent time with them. You've been out to eat with them. You practiced and you've worked out in front of them. They've had you on the whiteboard. They've had you, explaining yourself. They vetted you, and they came to a conclusion that they're putting their organization on your shoulders. It's very difficult to turn that down, to say, I'm not going to play here. I'm going to play somewhere else. You know why? Because listen, if you're a competitor and you're a person that really believes in that, if you're a person that really truly believes that I'm a competitor and I'm the best guy for the job, people can say what they want. If somebody comes to you and they say, listen, we're willing to embrace you and make you our franchise quarterback, you want to go somewhere where people believe in you and people have shown they're going to invest in you. And if you do that, it's hard pressed for any athlete to turn you down and say, I'm going to go to New York Giants, or I'm going to go because it's a big city, or no. Listen, I'm going to go where people like me at. And to be honest with you, if you play well, and you can control a lot of this, if you play well and you do your thing in Cleveland, you will be a god. They will trust me. Listen, Baker Mayfield got a cult following. He got one playoff win against Pittsburgh. And we got people wearing Tampa Bay Buccaneers jerseys now that live in Cleveland.
Yeah.
He got one little playoff win.
Yep.
And they like, listen, I'm a Bucs fan too. I watch all the 4:00 games on it. I said, this is when you get that big. I'm confused, man. But if you can get it done here,
yep,
they'll love you, man.
The more I hear Shedeur Sanders talk, the more I'm intrigued by him. So let's see how that process plays out.
Yeah. You see how that go. The more you hear about Shedeur Sanders, the more you're going to be intrigued by him. Because I've set the course. I'm saying to you, I will say this, and this is the backdrop of it. Man, we don't get no rest in Cleveland, do we? Think about the last 5 to 6 years. The Cleveland Browns are the epicenter of the league for right or wrong reasons. They're the epicenter. They're smack dab in the middle of everything moving. Think about this. Go back to 2014, 2013, 2014, somewhere in there. Johnny Manziel gets drafted. Polarizing is all get out. Johnny Manziel was so poor. He was going, think about it. Him and Josh Gordon was going partying. They was flying to Vegas game weeks. He had a fake mustache on. Think about that, people. Johnny Football was going to Vegas in disguises. That's how wild it was. Fast forward a little bit, you draft Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is a lightning rod. He's a lightning rod. You start to see in the Baker Mayfield, he planted the flag in the middle of the O for Ohio State. He's a gunslinger. He's from Texas. He plays with a chip on his shoulder. It's Baker Mayfield. We draft him first overall. Nobody thought we was going to draft Baker. They draft him. This guy goes out and breaks the rookie record. This dude is taking pictures with his shirt off. It's Baker Mayfield. He's polarizing his all get out. He wins the game against the Jets, and then we on that roller coaster ride. Think about it. Then ups and downs with Baker. Then during that process, we drafted at the time the biggest superstar in the game, Odell Beckham Jr., international superstar. We trade for him in Cleveland. And you got Odell Beckham, you got Jarvis Landry, who are best friends, played at LSU, not playing for the Browns, and you still got Baker Mayfield. That was just so volatile. It was just, I mean, every week we went through is it Odell's fault? Is it Baker's fault? What's going on? Was they moving Odell? Are they better? Are they better without Odell? Are they better? Should Baker be throwing the ball to different people? They trade Odell. Baker's still here. He gets injured. That whole saga. Then it's the saga, and Baker says, I'm never playing for the Browns again. And then we go do the most controversial thing in the game. Deshaun Watson, you know what he cost. You know what he cost. You understand what I don't got to say it no more. The picks, the money, the allegations. We don't. We ain't got to get to that. So here we are now, post Deshaun Watson, and here comes Shedeur Sanders. Oh boy. I mean, when Coach Prime says it, that last name speaks for itself. Flashy, flamboyant, even the wrist sign. Get used to the wrist sign if you hear. That's the rollie, the presidential rollie when I score. He got the mannerisms. You know, he's gonna be polarizing. His dad is gonna talk on certain things. He's already known. He's already a millionaire. He got all the NIL deals. So if you're a Browns fan and you look at our lineage for the last 6 years, for better or worse, we are the epicenter of everything NFL. Now, the question I got for you is, are the Browns fans and media ready for it? Because it's going to come a time, if you do draft Shedeur Sanders, it's going to be a time where he throw for 300 yards and it's going to look crazy. And after he throw for the 300, he might do a celebration. We know how we are with celebration. Don't get all up in it. But then there's going to be some times when he plays bad, takes some sacks, and his dad says somebody wasn't blocking. And boy, are we going to start to get them booing again? Because we boo quarterbacks night and day. I've already said and thrown this out there to a lot of people. Playing football in Cleveland as a quarterback is probably, to me, one of the toughest places to play quarterback ever. And a lot of people keep saying it's New York, it's New York. No, it's not New York. And I'm going to tell you exactly why it's not New York. Because New York has had quarterbacks before. They've had franchise guys. They won Super Bowls. When you're playing for the Cleveland Browns and the beloved Cleveland Browns, and you're playing for the team that Jim Brown paid for, you're playing for the team and the Hall of Fame is right down the street. This is the birthplace of football. When you're playing for that team that has never won a Super Bowl or been to a Super Bowl and has not had a quarterback since Bernie Kosar, everybody looks at you. Everybody. And a lot of people come from other cities and think it's sweet. People come from, I've been playing in big cities before. I played in big games at Ohio State or Alabama or Texas, or I played at another city. No. They don't care nothing about. You think Indianapolis is like here? Come on, man. You think playing for the Miami Dolphins is like playing for the Browns? You think playing for the San Diego Chargers is like playing for the Browns? We're in a division where our siblings, these are our siblings. Like, these ain't like rivalries. These are your siblings. One of your siblings is a twin. That's the Baltimore Ravens. They were you at one point in time almost. They were twins. And you have a shared history. The other guys in the division, the Cincinnati Bengals, y'all got the same father, Paul Brown. They got stadiums named around him from all over the country. Cleveland Browns innovator Paul Brown here first, then goes to Cincinnati. And then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's your hated cousin. That's your hated cousin. Come over, play with all your toys, break them all up. You got to share your food with them. But they always seem to have the better looking stuff. Their parents always seem to get them the best gifts. And you get the leftovers, and the best stuff you get, they break it up. So you playing in a division where everything is looking at you. And Shedeur Sanders is going to come with the cachet already. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? Let's get to it. 3,100 people in here, wherever you are. Hit that like button. We appreciate you for staying for 2 hours. Right now, ain't nobody doing this. Like right now, like we got about 15 minutes to go. But I love the fact that all my barbershop people came over here. Wherever you at, if you're a new person, thank you so much. If you're a new subscriber, if you're a new person that's watching on Twitter or Facebook, and you found my content by accident, we want to thank every single one of you 3,100 people in here today. UCSS crowd, what's up? I see you over there. Kool-Aid Mafia, we riding. Shout out to the barbershop day ones, man. We over here again. Listen, and here's the thing. I want to thank each one, 14,000 of you barbershop people. Stay on my channel, and you didn't even desubscribe, even though my content, we don't even have content like that. I want to thank you for that, but we're going to fix that. We got content coming every Saturday as well. Let's get to it. Let's go ahead and get to some of your comments with the Shedeur Sanders. I think he's gaining some steam. I think when these workouts come, you're going to start to see his name mentioned at number 2. And I think the Cleveland Browns actually like him in Kevin Stefanski's system. They can do a lot of things, but I do think that he's going to be a guy you start to hear more and more about.